guys, so this is my first video. I'm trying out this format. It's a gameplay between me and my friend. She's playing big basic dark. I'm playing Archeops fossil colorless for GLC. I'm just gonna commentate over here, try to tell you guys a little bit about what's going on. Let me know if you guys like this format, because I'm still trying to figure out what looks good, what feels good. Unfortunately, my first recording kind of got deleted sound-wise, so now I have to record it again, but no problem. So I'm going first. I'm starting off with Bumblebee, and she's starting off with Spiritomb from Unbroken Bonds. I'm starting out with Artisan. So my deck kind of revolves around Archeops, and I am playing Cinccino and Lugia from Celebrations as my big attackers. Also playing more fossil stuff because I thought it'd be fun to also play Aerodactyl. So yeah, here I grab Rotom because Rotom allows me to get my entire setup. Grabbing Skwovet, Archon, and Minccino. I think this hand is a little bit dead. I do have Bidoof in the hand, that's why I didn't grab it. So I bench a Skwovet and Minccino and bench the Bidoof, so that Skwovet Barbarrel can kind of be my engine, and I attach a Treasure Energy. So she goes ahead, she draws, she plays Nestball and Poffin, as well as Artisan to get her whole setup. So her deck kind of revolves around big basic dark attackers, such as a Spiritomb, Guzzlord, Galarian Moltres, Hoopa. So the Spiritomb she has out right now has an ability that once per turn she can put damage counter on it, and its attack does 10 plus 30 for each damage counter on it, so you can kind of build up a lot of damage that way. And then for her supporting cast, she's playing Liepard, the one that has discard draw 2, so trade ability. She's also playing the Toxtricity from Phantasmal Flames, which helps her accelerate energy onto her bench. So right now, she has a Toxel, Zorua, the pre-evo of Liepard, Guzzlord, and Pecharunt. Right now she's playing Arven, trying to just get her setup going. She's looking at Trainer's Mail and Team Evolution to try to just, make sure her hand looks better for next turn. So the big attacker of this deck for her is that Guzzlord, whose attack Red Banquet does 120 damage for 4 energy. And yeah, that's not it. It also if it knocks out a Pokemon, you take an additional prize card. So it's Iron Hands is amp you very much attack, which in a one prize format is very strong because you can just swing tempo in your favor very quickly, because you're not trading 1-for-1s anymore. And it's also beefy, it has 150 HP. So it's gonna not the easiest Pokemon to deal with, but if you can kind of keep it from becoming dangerous, it's fairly manageable. So she goes ahead, she attacks this TM Evolution, uses it to evolve her Toxel and her Kitty Cat into Liepard. So I draw. My hand's kind of dead, so I'm debating on what to do here. And I believe I decided to play Bird Keeper just to draw cards and promote the Rotom and see if I can just take the knockout and find pieces that way. Yeah, so I do that. Draw 3 cards, but I don't find anything. So the one downside of the deck I'm playing is that its big support engine in Archeops is reliant on an item card, because you need either unidentified fossil or the plume fossil to be able to evolve into the Archeops, which I haven't found. And without Arven or other cards to search items or draw, I will be waiting a while to find that card. So I go ahead and promote the Rotom. I kill the Spiritomb, take first prize card of the game. And now she's thinking or debating if she should play the Liepard or not. And she goes ahead, plays Evolution Incense, grabs the Zoroark, which has a really good ability, stand-in, which means if it's on the bench, you can promote your Zoroark to the active spot. So Dark, if they're playing Zoroark, is a really hard deck to retreat lock in GLC or play kind of a control strategy against, because their Zoroark will always help them get out of a lock. So he knocks out my Rotom with it's the Zoroark. The Zoroark has an attack that does 10 plus 30 damage for each bench Pokemon your opponent has. So in this case, it's enough. As you can see, I took the energy back to my hand because it was a recycle energy, which states when it leaves goes from the field to the discard pile, I can add it to my hand instead. So right here, I play Ultra Ball, grabbing the Barrel because I just gotta get something going, so I can finally start drawing cards, try to find pieces to do something. And I attach the recycle energy to my Minccino. I go play the Squovit. So Squovit allows me to shuffle my hand, put it under my deck, and draw a card. Which means even if I have like cards I don't want to get rid of or whatever, I can like reduce my hand back down to 1, so that Barrel, which allows me to draw my hand back up to 5, can do that. So I find Evo Incense. I play it to get Cinccino because I haven't had any other way to get Archeops in play. My Lugia is prized, so right now this game is looking like I'm riding on the back of this Cinccino to help me to get there. And then I'm debating what to play. So I'm going to play if I should play Malo to set up my turn, my hand for next turn, and then just use Bunnelby's attack to mill 2 cards instead of shuffling cards from my discard into my deck. So I decided to do that. So Bunnelby has an ancient trait which allows it to attack twice when it attacks. And you can either use the same attack twice, or you can use Burrow and Rototiller each once, which Burrow discards the top card of your opponent's deck, and Rototiller shuffles a card from your discard pile into your deck. And I went ahead and I milled 2 because obviously I stacked my deck. She goes ahead, she discards the Hoopa with Liepard, and then plays a Piers. Piers allows her to search for a Darkness Pokemon in any energy card. So a good consistency card for Darkness. So she grabs a Dark and a Morpeko. So that Morpeko has an ability that states when it has no energy attached to it, it has free retreat. On top of that, its attack for 2 Darkness does 70, and when it attacked, you move 2 energy from the Morpeko to one of your bench Pokemon. So it's one of the ways you can like knock out small stuff without putting like bigger things at risk. So even if it gets stranded, you can retreat it for free. So you like put it up, you attack, and then you can start setting up your Guzzlord with the energy you used onto your Morpeko. And so if it gets knocked out, you don't lose the energy. Because of her stadium, which is the Moonshine or Moonlight Altar, or Altar to the Moon, gives your Pokemon that has a Darkness energy attached to it 2 less retreat, or Psychic energy. So I go ahead, I touch a powerful energy to my Cinccino. If you guys don't know, it has an attack called Special Roll, which allows it to do 70 times the amount of special energies attached to it. So in this case, I'm doing 140 plus a powerful energy, which says the colorless Pokemon this card is attached to does 20 more damage. I go for Arven. I did find the Plume Fossil, which allows me to maybe eventually evolve into my Archeops. So I play the Arven. So there's kind of fossils you could use for Archeops. Is you could either use Plume Fossil or the unidentified fossil. However, with the Plume Fossil, the Archon that evolves from it is a fighting type. So I use that because that's one that you can rare candy off of into the Archeops. And then the unidentified fossil is one you could use to evolve through Archon. I also run the old Amber to evolve into the Aerodactyl from Mew 151. And then I also run the old like item card that you use to restore Aerodactyl. Which I just played, by the way. So what it does is I have to look at the bottom 7 cards of my deck, and then if I find an Aerodactyl there, I can put it on my bench. Then I attach a Luxurious Energy, and I went ahead and I knocked out the Morpeko. So she promotes the Guzzlord and goes for the Beast Ring. So Beast Ring is an item card that says if your opponent has 3 or 4 prizes, you can attach up to 2 basic energy cards from your deck to one of your Ultra Beasts, which in this case she does, meaning that Guzzlord is ready to roll and put a lot of pressure. Right now, she's looking for the Field Blower to try to get rid of the Luxurious Cape so that she can one-shot my Chinchino, since right now it's at 210 HP. And if I can find like Candy into Archeops, I can threaten the knockout on her Guzzlord. No, as of right now, I actually knock out her Guzzlord. However, she, as you're going to see, she's going to attach a Luxurious Energy. Sorry, guys. She's going to attach a Luxurious Cape to like put it out of range. Right now, she's debating playing Guzman Hala, which is how she gets the Luxurious Cape. So these tag team supporters are really cool. So what they do is they have one effect. And then if you discard a certain amount of cards from your hand, depending on which tag team you're playing, you get additional effect. But you don't have to. So Gus Mahala states you can search your deck for a stadium card, and if you discard 2 additional cards, you can search your deck additionally for a special energy and a Pokemon tool. So it's kind of like a little secret box. So she goes ahead and searches for the DTE, the Luxurious Cape, and Reverse Valley. So Reverse Valley is a stadium that's dual-sided. They came out in Breakthrough, and what it does is, depending on what direction you play it, that side affects that player that it faces. So in this case, you'll always point the like the bottom side to herself, because that side states that her dark Pokemon do 10 more damage, and the other side states that the meta Pokemon take 10 less damage. So she goes ahead, she attacks for 120 because she couldn't find the Field Blower or any way to like increase damage enough where it matters. I go ahead and play Squovit. Right now, I'm also looking for either Candy into Archeops or Field Blower, so I can one-shot this Guzzlord, because this Guzzlord is threatening my board. However, I believe I whiff completely, and I'm just sad. No, so this Aerodactyl from 151 has an attack for 2 colorless. It does 120 damage, and it devolves the active Pokemon. So it does help like deal with a lot of the big stage 2 attackers in GLC, since you can devolve them, and then usually 120 is enough to kill it through its pre-evolution, unless they have Luxurious Cape attached. So I played Guzma here, going after the Zoroark with this Aerodactyl, because that's a prize card I can take, because even if I don't devolve it, it still will die to the attack. However, either way, it dies. So she promotes her Guzzlord, plays the Reversal Valley. So now she has enough damage to kill the Aerodactyl, which before she didn't. But I had no way of playing around that. She goes ahead and plays Bird Keeper, puts a Petra up front. So this Petra runs from Ascended Heroes, and its ability is that if it is knocked out by an attack, you can search your deck for any card. So it allows you to help set up your following turn, especially in a deck where like Guzzlord needs a couple pieces. And then also the energy, hiding energy, states that the darkness Pokemon this card is attached to has free retreat. So it's like a float stone. She goes ahead, promotes a Guzzlord, and then she kills my Aerodactyl for 2 prizes because of that Red Banquet. So I play Poké Gear. Right now, this is like kind of a turn. I had to find a Field Blower or a Rare Candy Archeops to be able to knock out this Guzzlord and kind of reduce the amount of pressure she's putting on me, because she's down to 2 prizes, and if she has a way to gust or so, then I'm kind of screwed. So I put the old Hamber onto the bench. If I have a way to recycle the Aerodactyl, I can go back into the Aerodactyl. But I mainly played it to have less cards in my hand so I could draw more of a barrel. I believe here I whiff, so I just accept my fate. I go ahead, attack for 230 damage, which is 20 short because of Luxurious Cape. And then she can just go ahead and return the KO and take the last 2 prizes. So guys, thank you for watching.